she's performing there. And he said, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by performing? And she said, well, you remember when your sister used to sing around the house and everything? She says, well, she's a singer. She's really a singer, and she's performing with James Brown. And he was just like, oh my God, he could not believe it.
I stepped out on faith and I gave my notice. And I'm crying, y'all, because I gave my heart and my soul on that job. Because that was my passion. And sometimes our passion is really not our calling. It's just a passion.
When they say when it rains, it pours. It poured, but I didn't realize that the pour was on purpose. The pour was actually moving stuff out the way, moving people out of my path that didn't belong in my circle anymore.
Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so. And he looked at me, he was like, this little girl, how old is she? He said, this little girl can sing. Look, this little girl can sing. Yeah.
This is your girl, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I'm so excited. We've got another amazing episode of Success Leaves Clues. I've got my girl here, Shanell Lee, in the house. How are you, beautiful?
I'm doing wonderful. Good evening. How are you?
I am fantastic. We are so excited to have you on here, smiling, winning. It's been an amazing journey. Women all over the globe. We couldn't let it be complete without having you in the building. So go ahead and tell the queens a little bit more about you, where you're at and what you do and how you impact the earth with your business.
Well, once again, my name is Shanell Lee. I am an author, an educator, and a publisher. This is my first year in business. Can you believe it? During the pandemic, I started my own publishing company. So I'm super excited about that. And that's who I am, an author, an educator, and a publisher.
Well, fantastic. Well, congratulations, Queen. From one publisher to another publisher, I salute you, right? I was telling another queen, I said, I love collaboration. It's all about collaboration and connecting. I never see my fellow queen as competition because we work so much better together. Everybody may not want my tea. Everybody may not want your coffee. That's okay, but we can still be in the blessing business and help them to birth their book. So I love it. I love it. So tell the beautiful people, you said educator, author. So how did we make this transition? How did we go, Queen? Give that clue. How did we go from education to authorship to publisher? What would that look like?
Well, I'm currently still an educator in my 15th year. And so about 8 years ago, I taught second grade, and I would write the stories for my students, and they would just laugh and just enjoy them so much. I decided that I was going to take those stories that I wrote for them and publish a children's book. So I published my first book, and now I'm currently at the 6th project. So I'm super, super excited about that. That's how I transitioned into an author. And you may know a bit about starting as a self-published author. I found that I couldn't get books in stores and things like that, so I had to continue to learn and learn and learn. And as I did, I was like, you know what? I can help other people do this, because you shouldn't take the knowledge and just feel like, okay, I'm going to keep it to myself. Knowledge is supposed to be shared. So I decided to start my publishing company. And we actually just put out our first project that debuted at #3 on Amazon's bestseller list, not just for 1 day or 1 hour, for about 5 days. So we were super excited about that. So the title of the book is A Practical Approach to Teaching reading foundational skills at home and in the classroom. And we really thought about that because parents want to support their child in their learning, but sometimes they just don't know exactly where to start. So we wanted to provide some practical approaches for them to actually put in place and get to it right then at home.
I love it, Queen. Well, first of all, congratulations, right? Best-selling book, love it, love it, love it, under your camp. May God bless you and just more to come from your camp and what you do. But Queens, I hope y'all picked up the clue, because I know sometimes I ask the Queens that have been on here for them to give a specific clue, but sometimes it's just through the story. The success is in the story, y'all. Okay, y'all can take that. You can tweet that. But I heard you to say what you already loved. It was already your passion. You were already doing it. And then really God just gave that to you like, you know, wait a minute, I am going somewhere with this. Isn't it beautiful? Wouldn't you say it's so beautiful how you can take the gift that you thought originally was for you or for your purposes, right? You were a teacher, you know, let me find an unorthodox way to help my students learn and to love learning. You did that because of your passion for them. And then that morphed into you publishing your own books. And now you're helping your authors become best-selling authors. And that's such an amazing feeling. Again, from one publisher to the next, I know that's beautiful. So fantastic. So talk to the Queens a little bit about all of that. Sounds great, but there are obstacles. There are struggles that come in the way. What were some of the biggest struggles when you started your journey from going from authorship to publisher that you now look back and say, you know what, even though it was a struggle, I'm glad I went through that because now I know what to do?
One of the things, and I think this is in any field, is no matter what field you are in, you need someone else. And I really had to depend on my network. I am a publisher, but I was learning how to be a great publisher. And I had to lean on women who already were experienced in publishing. And that's like, thank you, God, for Dr. Nakita Blades, consultant, because she is a publisher with the Girlfriend Collective, and she really worked with me. She was willing to share her knowledge. And that's something not only do we want from others, but we also got to give that. If you want someone to share knowledge with you, you got to be open to share knowledge with them.
That's so
that
good.
Definitely a challenge for me.
Absolutely, but I'm glad, and another Queen said this too, and I hope the women are picking this up. You know, you ask for help. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you know, I know for me, a lot of my clients, you know, and I've worked with clients with PhDs and GEDs too. So in the mix, it don't matter because I don't discriminate. I want to help you birth your gift. But most of the women that I end up doing business with typically are college educated. They have their bachelor's or double masters. I had one Queen triple masters. I said, girl, you go triple. I said, triple. She started dropping them. Right? So-and-so masters and so math. I was like, honey, please do it quick. My brain hurt. But I'm just joking. But sometimes we can get to this place of status in our mind from our education or what we've done in the corporate field. And quite frankly, you know, for lack of a better word, and I love my Queens, but sometimes we can get in our own way, whether it be pride or whether it be we feel like we've achieved some level of success. But you'll only have that success if you don't get help. So how important is it for you as you help your authors, as you help your students, for you to hone in on that they must get help when needed? Like, you know, I can give you two ways. I can tell you in the street, they say closed mouths don't get fed. In the word, it says you have not because you ask not. So however you want to say it, you know, how have you been able to show people the importance of getting help?
One, I just lead by example because the network is important. You don't even have everyone that you need in your network at the moment. When you see, as you say, another queen who is winning, then I'm going to talk to that queen. I'm going to try to learn from her. And if she's having a certain level of success, I know that I can do it as well. We are not competition. We are supposed to hold each other's hand and build each other up. So for me, the network is most important. I'm going to continue to build my network. I suggest people continue to build their network. And it's not about always just people higher than you. it could be people, your colleagues who know something that you didn't know, or know someone that you didn't know, that can make all the difference in your business.
That's so good, Queen. So if it's a new, and I call my queens queens. I can't help it. It's like, even when I try to think of another word, I'm just like, queen, because I say it so much.
Hey,
But it's just like, my queen. So anyway, but so talk to a queen who is new. She's just starting her business, whatever it is. Maybe it's not an author. It's, she's starting her catering company, whatever. But she's lacking self-confidence in reaching out to other people because she doesn't know how she's going to be perceived. How do you encourage that woman in this season to really remove that fear? And how or what can she do to start to build that network that you speak of? What are some activities? So one, how can she gain confidence? Mm-hmm. Two, what are some activities she can start to take, small steps, baby steps, to start to build that network who can support her?
Well, one, if you're not comfortable, and this question is perfect for me because I am really not a person that likes to speak a lot. So one thing that I did, and I would suggest, is practice your ask. You're not asking them for the world, you're asking them for a piece of information. And just get comfortable. If writing would be more comfortable, you email them, message them. If it's, if you are in close proximity to them, go up, compliment her about something, and then ask your question in a respectful way. And if they receive it and they give you the information, they share it, then that's wonderful. If not, you continue to go on, because you will find someone else that has that information that you need.
That's so good. I love that. And then the second part of that, how can they start to build that network? What kind of activities maybe you took or they can take to start to expand their influence?
I'm a list person, so something that I've done and I've read in a lot of books, make a list of all the type of people who, are within your reach, that you can reach out to, that has a skill that you're interested in building, or has a contact that you're interested in getting connected with, and work your list. Start from the top and work your way down.
I'm sorry, my mute was on there. Love that, creating your list, right? And then that way you can begin to pick up. Now, what do you say to the queens that say, okay, that's great. Talk to them about the importance of investing in themselves, investing in their dreams, because you do have where you got more of a mentor type program or a sisterhood to where you can get information freely. But then you are going to have moments where, whether it's a business coach or a life coach or whatever the case may be, to where, you're going to have to pay to get that information, or if they're wanting to do business with you or myself or many of the other queens. So talk to them about the importance of investing in yourself first, and then to them as well.
Well, one, and I definitely understand what you're saying. In this business, even from just the author perspective, I've had many consultations with other queens who I have to, one, if I value the information that they can share with me, then I'm willing to invest in myself to pay them for their time, because it took them years of experience to build up that expertise. So yes, I have definitely paid for some consultations and walked away with a wealth of information that has pushed my business forward. So I definitely believe in that. I've done it myself. Also, when you find a person that you're willing to spend money with, to invest in yourself, in your business, to make sure it's what you value. Because once you walk away from that meeting, that consultation, if you value their information and what you've learned, you know that it's a good investment. And that's a very important thing to do.
No, that's so good. Value is, the way that I look at it, and basically I feel like what you're saying as well, is not necessarily the money that they're asking for you to spend with them. It's what does this buy me? In business, they say, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment, right? Some things you can walk away and immediately implement. Some things are bigger rocks that is going to take for you to use a system of some sort to achieve the results that you're looking for. So you have to go in knowing truly what type of information you're wanting to receive, because there's been times I need quick fixes. Okay. I just need this to make this move right here, and this is the information I need. And then there's others where it's like, I know it's going to be a systematic approach. This isn't going to be a turnkey overnight, but if I apply these tips, tools, techniques, and strategies within the next 3 to 6 months, I should be here, or I should be able to see me slowly leveling up in my business. So absolutely, investment is so important. It doesn't mean that you just run out and spend your money with everybody. First of all, you've got to do your due diligence. I will tell you, Queen, from my personal experience, do your due diligence, right? You should be able to CC around town. You should be able to check testimonials. You should be able to have a conversation with them and feel good, I don't care if everything clicking. The testimonials are good. The website look good. The price look right. Everything look good. But if we have a conversation and it's not that vibe, because I pray for wisdom and discernment every day, then I can't move forward because I can't supersede that. But if everything is clicking, I know it's in alignment with my goals and where I want to go and where God is taking me, and I get a great vibe from them, then why not? Do not talk yourself out of it, because you could be talking yourself out of your blessing, but even more importantly, blessing other people with your gift. Because Shanell, you said it earlier, it's not enough for you just to get the knowledge and just, oh, I got it, it's mine. You've got to share. You got to be willing to share. So let me ask you, Queen, in the near future, do you have any upcoming projects? What's going on? What's in the pot? I know we just dropped the best-selling book. We got anything in the pot brewing up in later November or December going into January that you can share?
Yes, I do. And something I wanted to share with you also. So that academic resource that we just published was a collaboration of 6 Black, beautiful, educated women. So I definitely want to put that out there. And so we will be working on another collaboration and right at the beginning of November. And I will be asking for submissions of all those who would like to collaborate on that next book. So look out for that.
Fantastic. Is there, will you have a link or anything that we can share with our viewers, or will they go to your website, or how will they be able to, if they're interested in participating in your next collaborative book?
You can visit Fleri Publishing at www.fleri, that's Fleri publishing.com.
Fantastic. See, I'm putting y'all in the game now. I'm telling you, there's no reason for you not to win in this season. You have too many amazing go-getters, glow-getters, women like Shanell, all the other queens, myself, that you can connect with and level up in this season, where you can connect, you can collaborate, you can bounce ideas off of each other and take it to the next level. You know, and I'm sure you've heard this too, Shanell, where you've heard folks say this year, oh, 2020. Throw it. I mean, they done said everything. I done seen all kind of memes. Yes. I done seen everything, honey. Throw it in the baby away, you know, or, 2020 is canceled. Oh, wait a minute. Each month, they're like, wait a minute, November, wait a minute, December, before you start. Let me see what you. So what has been your winner's mindset through all the craziness? So we're talking about the pandemic. We're talking about the racial tension here in the United States. I know some of our queens are watching this internationally. I'm sure they've heard about all the ruckus and the racial divide and just the disparaging things that have taken place. And then you got the voting. I mean, just so many things going on with normal life. So what has been your winner's mindset on how you've been able to press forward and to press towards the mark? Please share that with our queens.
For me, it's one simple thing that I do, and that is focus on the goal, because the days will pass, the months will pass, a bad year will pass, and life will move on. And you don't want to be 1 year out and you just set because 2020 was a not so great year. You have to have balance. You are active, you are engaged in this daily life and being a proponent of making life better for everybody around you. But stay focused on the goal. I am, like I told you before, a list person. I write down my goals. I am monitoring those goals. How am I progressing towards meeting this goal each day, no matter how little, and celebrating the small steps. You have to celebrate the small steps. So, like I said, be active in your life and in the world, because we also got to give out good to receive good, but we have to also stay focused on the goal. So it's about balance. Stay focused, be balanced, and be the best you can be.
That's so good, Queen. Being focused, and I love how the list, because I'm a list person. I'm a journal person. I've got like crazy. I mean, I just opened up a fresh journal right before we started talking, and I had another one I hadn't even used yet. I mean, I've got probably about 3 journals within my hands reach right now, and a list person too, because that does give you some level of success in your mind. You want to release those endorphins in your mind. Scientifically, psychologically, they can pull it, you know, where I can say, okay, if I put 3 things down on my list and I mark off all 3, there's like a little release, like, oh, okay. We've got to be able to celebrate those wins. And I know I can only speak for myself. I do celebrate wins and I love wins, but I am sometimes so deep in the business or whatever I'm doing that it's like, okay, next, yes. You know, and it's a good thing, but it can be a bad thing because you don't stop and smell the roses. What are some of the small celebrations you would recommend to queens as they achieve, you know, even the smallest goals? Maybe it's weight loss, maybe it's writing the first page in their book, maybe it's, you know, going back to school or whatever the case may be. What are some examples of ways you like to celebrate that these queens can still shamelessly to celebrate too?
So recently I went back to school. So hey, each week when I get that grade back, if I can keep that A, I'm going to get my nails done and I'm going to relax, you know, or oh, when I accomplish, you know, this big assignment is done and turned in, I'm going to get my hair done. I take things that I'm going to do anyway, but I set a goal to it because it feels better when I sit back for my pedicure, when I know that, okay, you deserve this because you accomplished, you know, turning in the chapters, making sure all the authors are on the timeline. I'm checking off my list and I'm rewarding myself. So it's whatever is for you. You know, some of my friends, they like to just sit back and read a book. But when you're a mother and you are an educator and you have a lot of things going on, that little 15, 20 minutes of time is valuable. So whatever those small wins are, you can attach them to the things that you enjoy doing. That is going to make it all the more powerful that you achieved it.
I love that. You said take the things that really you were going to do anyway, but turn it into, you know, this little goal for you. Like you said, if I was going to go get my nails done, but guess what? The polish shine just a little bit brighter because I finished. Look at that pinky. Look at that pinky. It's shining because I accomplished X, Y, Z. I love it. I love it. And that is so good because we can, especially, you know, whether you're a wife or a mom and you in school, you got your business, you might be working full time. I mean, we wear so many hats. And it is so important that a clue to that success is that we do celebrate the small wins, because otherwise you jeopardize running into burnout, which is huge. So let's talk as we finish up here, just the last few minutes, because you do a lot. Like you said, you're an educator, you're an author, you're a publisher, you're back in school, you checking the list and checking it twice, finding out who's naughty or nice, did they get in the chapter? So how do you keep yourself from burning out? Is there, other than getting your nails and your hair done, is there anything else you do from a mindset place to help yourself from burning out that you can share with the queens as we wrap up?
Yes, I'm a very big self-care advocate. Something that I do, and it's always fine what relaxes you, but for me, I love to take a walk. So in my business, I can do a lot of sitting down, and especially during the pandemic, during this time, a lot of the meetings are on Zoom. So I can go from a school day to my business for my publishing company, and most meetings are on Zoom. So I could be sitting at my desk for hours. So I've taught myself at the end of the school day, I'm going to go out and I'm going to take that walk. That's for me. That's going to let me reset my mind. I'm going to get refocused, exercising my body so it's healthy for me. And I take in that fresh air and then I come back and then I put on my next hat of publisher. So it's important to just take time for yourself. For me, that's that time for myself. I'm away from everything. I can think freely, and you would believe them. You have great ideals that come to you when you're doing those things just for yourself and you're relaxing.
I love that. That is so good. I have definitely been guilty of that, where I'm like, wait a minute, when was the last time I got up? You know, so I appreciate that, because I'm going to take that clue. I mean, you know, I try to be cognizant. You're so in the weeds, you know, handling business. And it's like, man, I need to get up and just go walk around. So for me, I try to get my workout done before I start my day when I can. It doesn't always work out that way, but still getting up ever so often just to stretch your limbs, like that's a refresher, you know, for you, your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. So I love it, Queen. So Queen, we're wrapping it up. You've been fantastic. Congrats on all your success that you've been having, back in school, dropping best-selling books, building your authors up. I love it, Queen. I love it when another queen is winning and glowing and willing to share her success, clues, tips, and strategies for the next person, because we can't do it on our own. All of us have to learn from somebody in order to be an expert. Every person you look up to, guess what? They had to start as a beginner. They had to start from somewhere. They didn't just wake up, I'm the guru. You know, nobody woke up like that. You started from the beginning, and then they gradually added on and on and on. And so guess what? If I can do it, if she can do it, then guess what, Queen? You can do it too. So we love it. Any last takeaways, tips, anything you want to share with the queens at all, how they can follow you, whatever you want them to know, however you want to encourage them, take this moment to do so.
Well, one, I just want to say, make sure you follow your dreams and stay focused on the goal. Don't leave it as a dream. Make it a reality. One of the things that I always say, the reason I like helping authors publish their book, because you take an ideal, something that was just in someone's head, and you bring it to fruition. That is the proudest thing. When you have a baby, when you birth a baby, you are super excited. You have accomplished something. That is the same thing when we birth whatever is in our spirit for our businesses. So make sure you take that dream and make it a reality. And my name, once again, is Shanell Lee. You can connect with me on Facebook with at Shanell Lee, and Instagram and Twitter at Shanell LA. Please visit my website at www.fleripublishing.com. Fleri is spelled Fleri, publishing.com. Thank you, guys.
Perfect, Queen. Thank you so much. Well, we appreciate you. Super duper proud of you. You're in an arena with some amazing other women, and we thank you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge and expertise. Well, Queens, I'm so sad. We're at the end of another episode of Success Leaves Clues. I'm your girl, Minister Nakita Davis, the proud CEO and founder of Jesus Coffee and Prayer Christian Publishing House, the #1 Christian publishing house in the land. And I'm honored that you were here with us for one more episode. Until we see you next time, be good to each other. Bye.